Hey, what's happening, everybody? Phil with Voxel Dental here. And this is a Vatech Easy 3DI software tutorial for anyone doing root canals. So I want to give credit to Bruno Azevedo. He's an oral maxillofacial radiologist and endodontist. I watched a recent webinar of his where he went through this software tip. It triggered an idea that I had years ago using a custom implant tool for something very similar, but this way is definitely easier. Alright, so if you've done any amount of root canals, my guess is at some point you've created a much larger access than you probably would have liked. So this video is going to show you how to use the software tools to not only minimize your access holes, but also pinpoint where you should actually begin your access. Alright? Okay, so the first thing we want to do is align all of our slices. So we are in the MPR tab. There is the Endo tab also in the Easy 3DI software, but for this application, we're going to use MPR, where we want to just visualize your normal axial, coronal, and sagittal views. We're going to be focusing on tooth number 31, and we're going to begin to align our slices. So first, I want to angle my sagittal view so it's down the center of the bone and more parallel to tooth number 31. In addition to that, I'm going to grab and angle my axial cut so it's perpendicular to the roots that we're focusing on, maybe a little bit more. All right, and that's kind of really what the view that we want. We can also change the angle so we're also more perpendicular from this perspective, and this is really what we want to see. All right, so we're focusing on the pulp chamber, and I'm just slicing back and forth till I get a good view of the floor of the pulp chamber and the actual canals. So now what I want to do is use the nerve mapping tool, and I'm going to start in the pulp chamber where it meets the actual canal. I'm going to do a single click, and I'm just going to go straight up just outside the tooth and do a double click. Now let's go ahead and edit this. So I'm going to do a right click and go to property, and I'm going to change the diameter to 1 millimeter. So now we can see in the 3D rendering, we get a real nice perspective of where we can actually begin our access. So now let's do the same thing for the distal root. Single click and go straight up. Change it to 1 millimeter. So now we've got both areas marked on the tooth. We have a really nice perspective and understanding of where to begin our access, and if we drilled straight down, we're going to have a much better chance of actually hitting that canal. Now the last thing you could do is just do one more and connect the dots right at the occlusion. Let's also change that to maybe 1.5 millimeters this time, or 1, whatever you choose. So connecting the dots now gives us a full picture of what that access should look like, and then we translate that information from the 3D rendering to the patient. And just a really easy way to treatment plan your case, know where to begin your access, and also keep them down to a minimum. Hope this helps.